Welcome back to Cookie Jar FX. This is your host, Eric Foreman. We are on day 7 of the analytical review of our euro dollar trade. Currently, looking good so far, looking great. We'll get to that in 2 seconds, but first, let's review Forex Factory to see what news we have coming up for this current week. And as we can see, there's nothing major aligned for the euro currency or euro policies, any political aspects at this moment. We have some pound activity that's looking later in the week or midweek, and then US dollar finishing out for Friday. But I think all in all, that's not going to dramatically affect my trade currently on euro dollar. If you guys remember last week, started off strong, took a little bit of a hit because a lot of the activity that was happening, the market makers was stop hunting pretty much sellers in the market, and they ended up pulling price back up. So I was able to get a solid entry, rebuilt from the 900 and some change all the way back up to the $1,000 mark. And now if we review, the account is roughly up 15%. So we're looking pretty solid going into the rest of this week. If you guys remember my session yesterday, the chart and the trade that I am currently trading for my playbook is the cone trade, right? So the cone trade is the break below the 20, primarily on a daily or the weekly, and as soon as we break that 8 MA, we target down to the 20 MA to either be utilized as support, or we'll break that 20 MA that'll further decline downward for what we call a double scoop, which is target down to the 50 MA. So if you guys look, I have a few of my take profit marks here. For some reason, I have to make some adjustments on my settings because it keeps saying off quote for my stop loss, so I can't increment it exactly on the system. But my stop loss is marked at 1.18826, and my take profits I have marked here. My first target is 1.6298. That'll roughly give me about 165 pips. Second take profit is 1.15395. That'll give me roughly about 260 pips. And then the final take profit is 1.14527, and that'll give me roughly about 350 pips. Now, where am I coming up with these targets, right? So when I look at the weekly, I set up my Fibonacci levels, which I'm dragging from the previous low up to the current high from last week. And there's certain parameters on the Fibonacci levels that I look to reach for support. That's going to bounce price back upward or just kind of have price at a standstill. So obviously my stats is in the way, so I'll remove that just so you guys can see a little bit more clearly. So if you see the 382 is one level, that's one target, and that target is primarily connected to that 20 MA target on a daily, so that it'll give us our confirmed cone trade, and that's what I'm looking for. Target on the 50 fib level is more connected to the weekly 8 MA, which is another solid target because we're looking for that support. I'm looking for that support for price to bounce right back off. And then the 618 is usually the mother target. It's the primary target on a Fibonacci level. If there's a decline or a reversal or retracement, it usually reaches for the 618 level or the 50 fib level. And if you guys see my marker where the 618 level is at, it is at a major support level there. So price can reach there. It may take maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks possibly. I know it's not going to probably happen in this current week unless something dramatic happens in the economy, either from the U.S. side or from the Euro side. But I don't primarily see that happening. So that might be a 2-week out target for that third take profit. Now, how does this translate into dollars, right? So if you look at my current positions, and I'll put my stats back up. If you look at my current positions, it's showcasing that I have 4 positions on, right, from Friday. So Friday I had 2 positions, and then earlier this morning I added another 2 positions, building my position size out to a 40 cent position. Currently up $207, so that brings us our account up to almost 15% currently. So just doing basic math, right? So obviously we want to get from the $1,000 mark further up. The goal is to at least get to the 2 grand, and then from 2 kind of building out. So from the first position, that's 165 pip target. Remember, so that's roughly, since we have a 10 cent position on that, it's 165. Second position, 150. Third position, 150. Fourth position, 135. So that's the take profit marker for that first level at the 382 mark, right? So if I take profit, just completely close the trade out, that's a $500 profit. So that'd be roughly about a 50% gain off this trade. If I shoot for the take profit for the second target, maybe I'll knock some off the table, maybe take 2 positions off and close out, or take half of those 2 positions, or just let all 4 of the positions ride out. We're looking at $990 profit on that. And then obviously if we let it ride for the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it's going to take to get to that 618 level for that major support, we're looking at roughly about $1335 on the profit, which pretty much double our whole account, which will be well over 100%. So those are the type of increment levels that we're trying to reach. I'm trying to reach, and the work that needs to be put in. So at this point, it's not really about doing anything else. It's really about just managing the trade properly, right? So adding on positions when there's add opportunities, managing stop loss, managing targets, not letting emotions play into part with the trade. You look at those dollars amount, it might be ready to cash out. But I'm paying attention to my strategy. I'm paying attention to my targets. I'm paying attention to the overall viewpoint of my chart. And I'm letting the chart tell me the story. So currently up quite a bit of pips. I'm looking to build on that even further. If I see any add opportunities at a break at this previous low here, I'm going to probably add another position that'll increase and maximize my profit potential as well. So that's how we're playing out with euro dollar. I am very, very satisfied with that. And yeah, we'll kind of see from what happens there. I do want to take a peek at pound Aussie, since that was one of the other picks. I'm not trading it. I just wanted to kind of assess, has it been moving in the direction as I called yesterday? And we did. We roughly got about 61 pip move up from today's activity. We're seeing a slight little pullback here. I don't see that fully. We got our gift play from last week that set us up for the push upward now. So again, the target on pound Aussie is ideal all the way up to possibly the 200 when you're looking at the weekly cone trade that I called earlier this week. So yeah, stay consistent, stay focused, stay on target, don't go against your plan, and yeah, we'll reconnect tomorrow and see where our euro dollar trade is at. See if I'm cashing out or if I'm rolling out and letting the money just flow as necessary, or see if we're gonna get stuck into a consolidation stage and play it from there. But we should see some more pushward activity downward after we break this low here, because once that low is broken, price is gonna flush downward from there. So keep you guys posted. Thank you again for joining. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share it with a friend or family. And yeah, any questions, leave it in the comments. I'll respond, and we'll take it from there. I'll see you guys tomorrow.